Okay, let's just dive right in. We live in a world that is absolutely obsessed with making things better, faster, and more efficient. It's this constant push for improvement. You see it in every single corner of our lives and our work.
I mean, if you're in the tech world, you know this all too well. We are relentlessly focused on performance, right? Fine-tuning our applications just to shave off a few more milliseconds of response time.
And in marketing, oh, it's the same game, just a different playing field. It's all about boosting conversions. We A/B test headlines, button colors, layouts, you name it, all in this grand pursuit of that perfect, magical formula that just gets people to click. And it's not just about machines and websites. We're even trying to engineer the perfect conditions to unlock and, yes, optimize the creativity of our teams. This relentless drive, this whole movement, it's called optimization. And, on the surface, its promise is incredibly seductive to make everything the absolute best it can possibly be.
So what are we really talking about? Well, formally, optimization is all about picking the single best state for a system based on one specific measurement. Think of it like tuning a guitar string to its perfect pitch, not a tiny bit higher, not a tiny bit lower, just perfect.
But here's the kicker. What if this narrow focus, this constant push for the best, has a hidden, really dangerous cost? What if we're tuning that guitar string so tightly that it's just one unexpected shock away from completely snapping? And that right there, that brings us to the central paradox we're digging into. The more we optimize a complex system for a world we think is predictable, the more fragile we accidentally make it to the messy, unpredictable world we actually live in. The author Nassim Nicholas Taleb just illustrates this brilliantly. He points out that the high failure rate of individual entrepreneurs is exactly what makes the overall economy so robust and innovative. You see, each failure provides this crucial information that strengthens the entire system. We see this play out in software development all the time. Rushing to optimize your code before you have a clear working foundation, well, it almost always leads to this tangled, inflexible mess that's a nightmare to maintain. It is so much better to build something solid and clear first because that allows you to adapt and improve it later on. Think about air travel for a second. That whole system is optimized so tightly for efficiency that there's basically zero slack. So what does that mean in the real world? It means any unexpected shock, a little bit of bad weather, a minor mechanical issue, is far more likely to cause a massive hours-long delay than it is to help you arrive a few minutes early. The system just has no buffer for randomness. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we need a new framework, a new language for thinking about how systems respond to stress and chaos. And this brings us to three key concepts: fragile, robust, and the really interesting one, anti-fragile. So on one end, you have the fragile, like this porcelain cup. It hates volatility. It shatters under pressure. Then you have things that are robust. They resist pressure and just stay the same, kind of like a rock. But then there's this third category, anti-fragile, which is completely different. It actually loves volatility. Think about lifting weights. The stress of that shock actually brings benefits and makes the whole system stronger. Anti-fragile systems don't just resist chaos, they feed on it. They get stronger from being stressed, just like our muscles grow after a tough workout. They literally benefit from randomness. And this difference, it plays out all over the real world. A huge centralized system, super fragile. One error can bring the whole thing crashing down. But smaller, decentralized units are anti-fragile. One can fail without really harming the others. Same thing goes for knowledge. Rigid theory from a book is fragile, but practical, hands-on skill, that gets stronger with every single real-world mistake. So this all leads to the big, crucial question, right? How do we stop building these fragile systems and start building more anti-fragility into our work, into our lives? How do we thrive in a world that we just can't predict? Well, it starts with a few simple heuristics, or rules of thumb. First, you've got to treat small errors not as failures, but as crucial pieces of information. Second, you want to favor redundancy over precise prediction. In other words, build in buffers for the unexpected. And finally, value that hands-on skill over abstract theory. Now, one super practical way to apply this is through iterative cycles. Instead of designing some massive, perfect system from the get-go, you make a small change, you test it out, you learn from the results, and then you adapt. This plan, do, check, act loop is a really powerful engine for anti-fragile growth. And here's another powerful heuristic. Always look for skin in the game. Don't just take abstract advice.
Find out what people actually do or what they invest in themselves. You see, advice is fragile, but actions that are backed by personal risk, they're anti-fragile because they've been tested against reality and they've survived. Okay, this is where it gets really cool. The real magic behind anti-fragility isn't just about surviving shocks, it's about profiting from them. And this happens through a powerful concept called asymmetry, where the potential upside of something is far, far greater than its potential downside. Let's go back to the gym analogy. A single intense stressor, like lifting that 100-pound weight one time, it gives you much more benefit than two smaller, easier lifts. So why is that? It's because your body's response is nonlinear. The benefit actually accelerates with the intensity. This right here is the core of an anti-fragile strategy. When you have this kind of asymmetric or convex payoff, you don't need to be right all the time. Seriously, you just need to be in a position where the benefits of being right are way bigger than the costs of being wrong. This gives you what's called optionality, the freedom to benefit from uncertainty. And we can even see this mathematically. Now, don't worry, we're not going to get bogged down here, but check out this simple dice example. If you just take the average roll of a die, which is 3.5, and you square it, you get 12.25. Simple enough? But if you take the average of all the squared outcomes, you get a higher number, 15.17. That gap between the two, that's the hidden benefit of volatility. In any system with these accelerating convex payoffs, the average result is always better than the result of an average event. That's the mathematical edge you get from being anti-fragile. So, what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's a fundamental shift in our goals. We need to stop chasing this fragile, brittle perfection that's optimized for a world that doesn't even exist. Instead, we should aim to build systems in our businesses, in our technology, and in our own lives that can actually thrive in a messy, unpredictable, and chaotic world. And that leaves us with a final, provocative thought to consider. Take a good look around your own life, your own work. Where is your pursuit of efficiency creating a hidden weakness, a fragility that you might not be able to see until it's way too late?